I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. A moment of silence, please. Thank you. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Board of School Trustees for Tuesday, July 14th, 2026. Roll call. All members are present. Thank you for making it, Hannah. Ross and Larry. Derek is the only one that, he's out of town, correct?
Yes, he had his leave for work, yeah.
Okay. Adoption of the agenda for Tuesday, July 14th. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Thank you, Ross. Is there any discussion or changes? There is none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Reports. William Tell.
I gave the schools a month off for reports because we don't have any kids. So yours is the only report,
Yeah.
Thomas.
All I have to report for the County Redevelopment Commission. We do have a meeting scheduled for July 27th. I believe it is at 5:30 at the courthouse in the Commissioner's room. Communications from the public. There is none. The consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you, Hannah. Is there any discussion of the consent agenda? There is none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries 4-0. Old business, none. New business.
Up first, we have the receipt of bids for fuel. We had one dropped off today. Potential bids from CNS. And they're submitting the bid of 6 cents per gallon discount off the posted retail price for diesel. We always do appreciate CNS supporting our schools. So I asked the board to accept that proposal.
Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to accept CNS's bid.
Thank you, Ross. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries 4-0. 3 bids, informal.
So it's informal because I wanted to list this here specifically for auditing purposes. Because we purchased so much, yes, that's the big one. We purchased so much food over the course of a year, we trigger the audit threshold that has to be bid out. What we do is go through cooperatives who bid it all out for several schools and then give us the low prices on these things. So that we don't have to do a bid for dairy and a bid for food and do 3 different ones because bread won't come down here, but milk will, and this one will, and that one won't. So I've included all of these, so they will be a part of the official minutes for when the auditors do come look at them. But we're not going to go through them and see that, an egg omelet with Colby cheese is $58 a case. We could be here all night if y'all want to do that. So that's just an FYI. You all got a chance to look at it. I'm not kidding. It's bad. So if you have any questions on the process or anything like that, I'm happy to address that. If not, we'll move on to staffing.
I just have one thing on the food bids.
Okay.
Because of past audits,
Mhm.
everyone in there has been approved by the state of Indiana.
They all have to sign a affirmation with the co-op that says that they are affirmed.
Okay.
Yep. That's a good memory there, Mr. Thomas. Part of the reason we started doing it this way.
The discussion part of it that was enlightening.
Right. That's part of the reason we've done it this way. Mhm.
Moving on to surety bonds for corporation employees.
This is an annual approval that we ask the board to grant to provide a little bit of insurance for most of the employees that are handling the money and the cash specifically. The corporation treasurer is bonded to $50,000, while the following employees are bonded to $15,000. That is the treasurer at each building, high school and William Tell, the athletics secretary, cafeteria manager at the elementary and high school, the athletic director, the payroll coordinator, the elementary principal, and the junior senior high school principal, the ECA manager, and the office receptionist assistant in my office. Each of those are bonded for $15,000.
Similar to what the bonds are for employees, the same employees and others.
Yes. Mhm. Yeah.
Do I have a motion?
I make motion to approve the surety bonds for the corporation employees as stated.
Any discussion? We've never had to be called upon to use a bond, have we?
No.
You know, we don't.
I think one of the schools in the county did one. If there's no other discussion, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries 4-0. William Tell Elementary School.
They have a few more staff for William Tell. Life skills teacher Stephanie Whalen, she'll be entering the asset program. We've already got her signed up for that. Elementary teacher Lauren Sewers and program assistant Haley Horsley. So we ask for your approval on those pending receipt of background checks.
Motion.
Their teaching staff full. Yes. Mhm. No,
That's not a bad year.
no,
Sometime we're filling
Stay
spots in
age.
August.
yeah.
Or later.
No, Alexa has been interviewing a lot. We're fortunate to get these people in and on the books. So
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the 3 candidates.
There's no other discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. The motion carries 4-0. Tell City Junior Senior High School.
We have some licensing changes and enrollment decreases here at the high school. We're recommending removing the program interpersonal communications and riffing that instructor. We've spoken with the instructor, and all of our mandates have been met. So at this point, I'm asking the board to approve that riff and do away with that offering.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the RIF for interpersonal communications.
Any discussion?
There's no other classes that she could teach.
No, unfortunately not. We do have another instructor that can pick up some of that course load. So we offer it as one of the dual credit offerings, but it can move into speech and some other things too. So
It's 2 periods.
I think we were down to 1 at this point.
So it's one in one semester for the other.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
just combined it with another staff member.
correct.
So it's not like she's losing a full-time job or anything.
No, this is not a full-time spot.
Hannah made a motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Motion carries 4-0. Athletics.
Several coaching recommendations. Junior high cross-country coach. This is for boys and girls. Adriana's going to help out in those regards. Girls tennis, Emily Park, and boys tennis, Bob Kryline. Volunteer assistant softball coach in Emerson Hesley. Volunteer assistant swim coach, Tim Reed. And assistant soccer coach, that's a paid position, Chase Martin. I recommend their approval also.
He's the assistant soccer coach for boys or girls?
Boys.
Boys.
Sorry.
Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the athletic coaches.
Thank you, Ross. Any other discussion?
I gotta say, I think John did a good job finding coaches, because sometimes tennis is a hard spot to fill, and Bob, Nick got the assistant principal's job. I thought, what are we gonna do there? But Bob Carline was the boys tennis coach before Jerry Merringer, before Nick, so he's has experience there. Emily played tennis at USI well enough to make their athletic hall of fame, so she coaches as well as she plays. We've got 2 pretty good people.
What was do you know, Chris, the population of the boys and girls teams last year in tennis?
Boys teams traditionally pretty small, 5 to 7 max. Girls,
They were up, weren't they?
girls
I was going to say they were 15 plus, weren't they?
It's a lot of girls.
Yeah.
Boys team will hopefully grow a little bit. Bob's a good coach. We're very fortunate to have him step up.
Ross made a motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Motion carries 4-0. Permission to use the rainy day to support On Target. I guess assuming it's still funding.
Yes, the Title IV grant has still not been released, even though it was supposed to be out in May.
You ever heard anything more lately about when?
Any minute now. Honestly,
Last month.
yes, that's what they're telling me, any minute now.
They didn't say which minute, they said.
It's true, it's true. So I'm requesting that we use rainy day funds to cover this until the Title IV comes through. When that grant is released, then we can potentially pay back the rainy day for anything that we expend. But I've got to have some allocation to keep us going at this point. So we can afford that on rainy day.
So for some reason that funding does not come through, we can.
We can, yes,
Okay.
rainy day is healthy, we can absorb the full amount for it this year.
About a year.
Hoping we don't have to, but I mean,
Right.
we have a backup.
I'm being told emphatically any day now, so I'm watching.
So I have a motion.
I make a motion to permit the use of rainy day to support on target if necessary.
I'm sorry, Ross, I interrupted you.
So that's the best option we have.
Yeah.
I'm sure every school's going through.
Everybody
going
is,
through.
yeah. And they're hearing about it because it's after school care. I mean, this is one thing that everybody needs and everybody wants. I don't know where the wires are crossing up north.
Some schools, they probably don't have a healthy enough rainy day fund to absorb it, so we're lucky that we do.
Well, keep in mind, we offer it for free. I mean, there are other schools that charge for it.
We changed our name to Trustees. Senior high school, public charter school. We'll probably get through that.
No,
That's the hot topic. you
no,
know.
I know.
I know. Sorry.
I know.
I said,
Slipped a little bit there. Larry made a motion. All those in favor of funding on target through rainy day signify by saying aye.
aye.
Motion carries 4-0. The resolution to reallocate supplemental homestead credit.
So you'll remember when they pushed through some of these new tax savings, everybody was up in arms because of the hit the schools were going to take due to losses to the tax base. This resolution was allowed by the state to transfer money from your debt service fund, which is protected right now. Once again, we have to pay our debts. If you have extra in that, you can transfer it to your operations fund to make up for some of the losses the tax credit is taken from us. So we have done the numbers, and it's about $90,000, $92,8653 specifically, that we are asking to transfer from debt service to operations, and we see no problem meeting our debt obligations in doing this. So ask for your approval on that tonight.
Do we need all of that to do the operations fund?
Well, operations pays for everything, whether it's school buses or custodians or lights. So it'll be used 100%.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution for the homestead credit.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries 4-0. Teacher computer replacement.
Our staff computers are aged, put it nicely, and with all the updates, they can't keep up and run the current software. So it's time, and once again, this is an operations purchase actually that we'll be making. We went out to get 3 different bids. We're recommending Trafera as they were the low quote at $110,000 for 60. But I included in your packet all the other bids, and you can kind of see what we were looking at. I ask for you to approve the acceptance of Trafera, and we can get Ms. Hollenden ordering some computers.
Will you be by the start of school here?
No.
This is not how the world works. By Labor Day is the goal.
There you go.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the teacher computer replacement. We have that.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries 4-0. Admin contracts.
So with the promotion of Mr. Holland to principal and the appointment of Mr. Wire to the assistant principal, I've reviewed the administrative contracts, recommending the increases provided in your packets as it shows for the assistant principals, Principal William Tell, and the new rates for Mr. Wire and Mr. Hollenden, noting that even with these increases, it's still a savings of $20,000 based on administrative costs. So I ask for your approval on those tonight.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the administrative contracts.
Thank you, Henry. Is there any other discussion? If there is none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries 4-0. Superintendent contract.
Up next is your recommendation on mine. I won't make one, but it has been published and advertised. Public hearing was held in June, so it is now time to act as the board sees fit.
I have a motion.
I make a motion to approve the superintendent contract.
Any discussion? There is none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries 4-0. ESL stipends.
We have seen an uptick in our English as a second language students. We had one person that oversaw most of that instruction in the corporation, and then we've had some aides that have pitched in and helped. What we're looking at now is a genuine need for 2 ESL instructors, one in each building. We have one here at the junior senior high who is licensed. We have one at the elementary, Roxy, as I've said in this, is willing to go back and get hers. So we've modified that dual credit enrollment agreement. I'll pay for some of her coursework that she's required to take. What I'm proposing this year is a $5,000 stipend for Madison Martin, the corporation instructor who has to oversee Roxy while she's doing this. And then I've spoken briefly and unofficially with some CTA members about bargaining this stipend into the contract once we have 2 official people, and then it'll just be set through negotiations going forward. But for this year, I'm asking for $5,000 for Madison and $3,000 for Roxy. And I did include that agreement for Roxy in your packet, so you can see that.
Even though Madison will be supervising Roxy, Madison will basically be at the high school and Roxy at the elementary.
Madison will go out to William Tell occasionally to kind of oversee the programming and check what Roxy is doing. That's what she'll have to do. That's why she'll get a little bit more. But then once they're on even footing, we'll take that $8,000 we're spending now, and basically split it into $4,000.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the ESL stipends.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-1. Additional training stipends.
We're recommending the following staff members for stipends going to a threat assessment response team training. These are people that have been selected at each building to serve on their safety teams. Glenn Goffman, Carrie Fisher, Brandon Reburn. Neitha is out, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Deanne Anson and Triton Martin. The administration, the administrators will also be going. This is next Monday. So I'm asking for the same $100 stipend for all of those folks for that day, excluding the admin because they're back on the clock, so they don't get stipend for going. Chloe Carmen is taking over Nick's courses and just been informed that she's accepted into Next Tech computer science training. So I'm asking for a stipend for her also to attend that training with your approval.
Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the stipend.
You're off. Any discussion? There is none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. 2627 WTE handbook.
So included in your packet is the William Tell handbook. It's been updated to comply with some recent legislative changes. Obviously, the cell phone ban stays pushed through, some attendance modifications, those kinds of things. Other than that, it's pretty standard.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the 26-27 William Tell handbook.
Larry, I think the cell phone ban is getting tougher and tougher everywhere.
Yeah.
And everybody says it's quite successful.
Basically, everything is state law. We have to.
Right. And we have heard from students that they wouldn't say it to their friends, but they like the cell phone ban because it just takes that pressure off of them.
Every day. Brother made a motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Junior, senior high school handbook.
Same basic situation, updates based on current law, attendance and the cell phone especially. So ask for your approval on it.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the junior, senior high handbook.
Thank you, Hannah. Any discussion? There is none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Junior, senior high school consumables.
So as you know, we're not allowed to charge for textbooks, things like that, but anything that's specific to a special class that's consumable, we can charge a reasonable fee for. So, for example, I'll give you culinary arts. Those students have to cook, means we have to buy food. We can charge a consumable fee because that stuff is used in the process. So that's been included in your packet, and we ask for your approval on those consumable items tonight.
Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the consumable.
Thank you. Mr. Soto, have you discussed any with culinary arts, whether we can bring a beef cap in here for the summer?
Oh, they would love to bring livestock in here.
I know, but we talked about putting one out in here.
We didn't talk about that.
I don't think
We did, I remember.
No, we didn't talk about that. Other people talked about it, and I said, I don't want sheep and pigs.
No, why don't you put it?
I know where you want to put it.
I just think it would be,
I think it's
I think it would be a soup. I think the kids would take great care. Put some cameras out there.
Yeah.
I just think it'd be a really neat experience.
Thanks for going ahead and volunteering to come.
Well, we shouldn't have to clean unless the kids let half in school one night.
Yeah.
I know when I grew up, we wouldn't have done that. But
Maybe some fainting goats. So when I walk down the house hall, I can.
I have fainting goats.
I just think
You might talk me into that, but
we go through the full process of culinary arts. Where does your food come from?
Megan,
Arts.
Megan Hagedorn is the one wanting to bring in livestock, not necessarily Chelsea. I don't think Chelsea would want to slaughter them, but I bet we can talk Megan into it.
She would butcher, but not slaughter.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If she was getting like a half beef, that would be brainless.
Yeah.
Slaughtering.
I couldn't do that. I can't do that. I struggle with it, my own cattle. I mean, I just follow. Part of the education. Ross made a motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Soccer camp.
Coach Hauser is requesting to take the girls soccer team to camp at U of L. Now, this one is from the 23rd to the 25th using activity buses. The caveat here is he has to have 15 enrolled to take that. You know if he got that or not. He was close. Okay.
They won't accept any teams that have less than 15.
Correct. So he's got a backup plan to go to USI. This is a day trip basically only, but it's still a soccer camp, and it would be beneficial for the girls soccer team. So that's why you see 2 listed there. The hope is that he'll have 15 and be able to go to the U of L camp. If not, he will take his 11 committed players to USI later on. I'm sorry, I didn't include that in my notes, but it's in the request. It's coming up. It's very soon, actually.
Probably U of L camp might be a little bit of camp for them. I hope they come up with 15. Only 11 players, you have to have 11 on the field.
Correct.
You have no subs at that. I mean, one year we had like one sub, and we would be ahead or tied with teams at halftime, and then the second half, because of their depth, they would.
I don't know that he only has 11 on the team. I think he only had 11 that had agreed to go to the camp at that time. So, like I said, that's where that is. So we're kind of hedging our bets. The 23rd to the 25th is the U of L camp, and then the 18th would be the USI trip. So it's later this week.
It's just one day.
Just one day. But to my knowledge, the girls haven't attended a camp in a while. So even a day would be great for
Yeah,
them.
it definitely be this week.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion we approve whichever girls soccer camp that he can get the players eligible for.
Thank
Thank you, Larry. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Request for extended leave.
So we don't really have a method to take an unpaid extended leave without coming here to the board. And Miss Fisher, the counselor at William Tell, is actually Miss Indiana, MRS Indiana. Yes, Mrs. Indiana, sorry. Because she won that title, she now qualified to go out to Las Vegas and compete for Mrs. USA. Once in a lifetime shot, so she's not asking for extra sick days or anything, she's just asking for permission to take time off of work without being paid to go out and represent Indiana. She had included a letter in your packet. Given the circumstance, I recommend the board approve that trip.
That's once in a lifetime.
Yeah. I even volunteered and drove her in the 4th of July parade, so.
We could definitely leave something to talk to our students about too.
Absolutely. So,
We'll be in trouble getting those for 10 days.
well, we probably wouldn't replace the counselor with a sub. What we would do is if they were needed, we'd move a social worker down from the high school. Because we do still have social worker over there. So it wouldn't be a complete lack of service.
That's wonderful. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the request for extended leave for Mrs. Fisher.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Construction update.
Thank you. We have a couple of change orders. It's expected in our big construction projects. And the first one to talk about is at William Tell. We needed to install a 2-inch hard water line to tie in the chemical processes to both the new air handlers. So we've already gone ahead and I've already told them to do that because we've got that chiller up and running right now, for that air handler up and running. And we're cooling William Tell again. That was a change that we had to do. They've also discovered that we have 450 amp fuses that are covering our VFDs, and we need 400 amp fuses to protect them. So we've got that change. And then there's a charge to wire in the new variable speed drives. So I've included those change orders in your packets and ask for you to approve those tonight, just as we've gone along and done those things. We also will have some change orders coming with the gym. We had a construction meeting today. I'll fill you in on that here at the end of the meeting. But there are just little tweaks and things changing over there due to a tree and some sewer tie-ins and things like that so far.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the construction upgrade changes.
Thank you, Larry.
All those in favor. I don't know what that's about, electricity, but usually, you have to go to a bigger one having to go from a 450 to a 400 amp. It seems kind of counterintuitive that you have to put a smaller one in, but.
Well, they're newer drives and they probably are more efficient, so it doesn't take that much.
That's true. I mean, if it works, if that's what they say.
Yep.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Motion carries 4-0. Policy update.
So as we transition our policies to Church, Churchill, and Antrim from Neola, this is the first round and it is the required legislative updates and changes. The policies presented for your approval are a 200 firearms, weapons, and destructive devices, 275 school wellness, 275R school wellness, it's the administrative guideline, responsible use of technology, the technology use agreement, wireless communication devices, attendance, engagement, truancy, continuous learning guidelines, medical needs at school, justifiable decreases, and the administrative guideline for that, budget adoption, and the AG for that, purchasing procedures, free and reduced meals, corporation support organizations, public records, and requests for personnel access. So what we'll do is we'll accept these in small groups and they'll run in tandem with Neola. So ones that we haven't approved yet will still be Neola, but these will also be posted alongside those as our current policies. And just as a reminder, we had a survey go out of about 100 schools in Indiana, and about 25% of them are with Church, Churchill, and Antrim right now, who we're with, and another 25% are currently considering leaving their current provider. So I think Church, Churchill, and Antrim are really kind of listening to schools and addressing some of their concerns. two things to point out. Ross and I talked about A275R, which is the school wellness, and it talked about mandating that facilities are open and available. And it was a little bit confusing because it kind of implied that if you want the gym, you just go into the gym and get it. So we took out the shall and put may in there, and then added a line that said with the proper building use request, just to eliminate that kind of confusion. And then on 300E, it was kind of contradictory because we keep saying, don't bring your cell phones and don't bring your tech. But then that one actually said, if you do bring your tech, then do this. Well, no. So we changed that to students are encouraged to not bring their tech, whether it's computer or smartphone, whatever. So those are the two changes that I have made to those policies. And I'm recommending that we go ahead and suspend the 2-vote process in the bylaws and approve these now so that they're in place and we can move forward with them.
You discussed the survey, and it was amazing. I read the survey. All these superintendents and boards said the exact same thing that we said.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on with policy right now.
Yes. Yes, there is.
That's why a lot of people wanted to go somewhere where it was a little more clearly defined.
Mm-hmm. Well, and even Ross pointed out some of these need a little bit of clarification. That's what, I count on you guys too, to put your eyes on it and look at it. Because I told them I looked at it as, I just read in there with the building use policy because I'm so used to doing it. Yeah, you can have the gym, but you got to put it in the form. But it didn't say that. So,
Yeah, like, there's always going to be something to check on that. I feel the CCHA are clearer than the old ones.
mm-hmm.
Were.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And once again, they were the ones that had redone those other two policies that we looked at prior to even switching. So I think we're going to be in great shape. Last year for approval on those policies tonight.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the policy updates.
If there's no other discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That motion carries 4-0. Budget process and timeline.
So I have a motion and a vote here. We don't need to approve anything. But every year about this time, I like to make sure you guys are aware there's pretty much 2 meetings I need you guys here for. But Debbie likes to spell out the entire process. So the budget she plans to have fully completed by August 20th. And then we're looking for a special board meeting August 25th. And that's going to be that quick one that is just permission to advertise the budget. And in between the 20th and that 25th, I'll make sure you guys see the copies of the budget, see where our tax rates are, those kinds of things. And then we will get that put online. It's no longer mandated to be published in the paper. We just have to upload it to Gateway. Then we will be doing a public hearing at the regular board meeting in September on the 8th. And then we will adopt at the regular meeting in November. Or October, I'm sorry, October. October 13th, we will adopt. The deadline is November 2nd. I skipped ahead and read.
I was looking the next
Yeah.
day. What's going on?
Yeah, I read it. So that's our tentative plan. Those are the dates that I will, especially need 3, at least a quorum, so we can make sure that we hit those mandated deadlines. So like I said, nothing to necessarily motion and vote about, just an FYI, make sure we can check our calendars, please. Okay.
It'll be interesting to see what our tax rate is. With what we think should happen and what we're going to approve.
Yeah, I would agree.
I know a lot of people have asked with the building what's going to happen.
Well, keep in mind, that bond was already taken out, so that bond that's paying for that building has nothing to do with this year's tax rate. That's already all covered and locked in.
It'll be hopefully a pleasant surprise.
Yep.
Not a surprise, but
We live well within our means. We're halfway through the year, and I think we've spent 44% of the general fund and about 37% general fund, education fund, and about 38% of operations. So we're under where we target for.
Those are both based on calendar year.
Yes. Mm, yeah.
such other businesses may come before the board.
We had a construction meeting today for the auxiliary gym. And you haven't seen a lot of motion going on there lately. It's because if you step out the middle of that thing, you sink to your ankles. It's all mud. They have got the drawings back in. One of the things they talked about, there'll probably be a change order. They're looking at making the footers a little bit bigger. The prefab building people taking a look at everything, and they would like to see a little bit bigger footers come through on that. So they're working through that process right now. The tree that we're going to have to remove, they've got a plan to start getting that out of the way, and then they'll make the sewer connection tie-ins. They are waiting for a piece to go from the sewer, our side to the clay side that goes out to the city. So that's kind of holding them up, but they have been working on the water, and they hope to have that kind of stuff lined out by the end of this week. Right now, they're shooting for early August to first week, second week to start pouring footers. And then once that happens, you'll blink, and they hope to be up and under it before winter so they can move inside, obviously, and start doing that finished work. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
You know, if they did soil samples out there.
They did compaction.
Yeah, they did compaction and those kinds of
After
things.
they compacted, they did core. That's what's surprising about it. That it's thinking after they did core samples after they packed.
Mhm. It's just been too much rain. That's where they're at. They don't want to go and tear up that pad by putting dozers and stuff on it.
Why do they need the cars?
The prefab manufacturer is making that recommendation, just to make sure that it'll hold the weight of the building. 'Cause remember too, they added 2 of those ribs. They think that they're going to need 2 more ribs to carry the weight of the goals and all the things that we're going to be putting up in the ceilings. So he just got that word this morning, so he didn't really have a whole lot of information for me. I just know that change order is probably coming sooner or later, but he did say they're recommending thicker footers. And I told him to make sure that nothing fell down, especially under my watch. So,
That'd be nice.
Have the cross-country boys and girls said anything about removal of the historical tree?
They know about it.
How do you feel about one of them stretch covers that we mounted, steel posts, like you would see at like Holly World, for instance?
Like a awning.
It's like a tarp.
Oh, over there?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. Once it's erected, we have to also realize that the sun will it's going to create a natural shadow coming off the building to the south, the north side, And so depending on, the time of year and how much coverage we're getting just from that, I don't know how much we'll do. We've talked about helping, like, as a program, maybe raising some money and just putting some benches out there that not just us, but anybody can use as they're waiting to go in or in out practices and stuff. I mean, basketball kids would use it after, when they're coming out and waiting for rides. Once it's done and we get a view of it, I think we'd like to do something. Quite frankly, the family member passed away recently related to you, that we've gotten some donations towards. We want to do, I think we're going to use some of that money to help get some.
When we were doing the groundbreaking, the contractors were asking me about the relevance of the tree. Gosh,
It's still standing if you want to drive by it.
No, they were saying, what's
it's
the
gone.
big deal? And I said, well, you got to understand that that's some of the cross-country practice. That's the only place you got.
Yeah, that's our locker room. Where is that?
Lay around the shade.
It is what it is. Our kids get it. Like, there's a sentimental value
Leave it on.
it, but change has to occur. We have to make progress. Slice that baby up and figure out what to do with those slices.
Do you have anything else, Mr. Soto?
that's all I had. It's been a
Anna?
fast summer.
Good.
Ross? All right. If there's nothing else, this meeting is adjourned.
Yes.
How many trees have you got?
I know, there's a lot of paper there, I'm sorry.